Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the online sessions of Tare Arkam Schools, Gujarat region. So, first of all, join your hands for dua. Rabbi zidni ilma, my Lord, increase me in knowledge. ए मेरे रब मेरे इल्म में इजाफा फरमा. So class, this is your history lecture and this is your lecture number 4 of your chapter number 1 of section 1, cultural and political background of Pakistan movement. So, today what we are going to discuss is about the page number 8 and page number 9. So, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about the work of Sir Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi from 1786 to 1831. We all know that the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi was taught through the Shah Waliullah's school Madrasa Rahimia from Delhi under his sons. So he also got the idea of morality and the religiosity in him. So he believed that jihad or fight against the non-Muslim is only the reason, only the source through which Muslim can get their position back in the subcontinent. For this, Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi took the advantage or the idea of the jihad and spread it all over the way when he went to the jihad, when he went for Hajj in 1821. And in 1823, when he came back, he was ready to take the action. Sayyid Ahmad Railway toward the Punjab northwest frontier to enlist men to fight the Sikhs. He traveled many hundred miles to rise the Mujahideen force. He wants the Mujahid who have the strong belief in Allah, who have strong beliefs in the giving his life in the way of Allah Almighty or in the jihad. He took him through Rajasthan, Sindh, Balochistan, and into the Afghanistan then. However, he found that the Afghan troops were suspicious of each other and not always prepared to join him in his jihad. On the other hand, when he went to Afghanistan, he noted that the Afghan troops were there was not prepared to join him in his jihad movement. So in 1826, Sayyid Ahmad established his headquarters near Peshawar. He sent a message to Ranjit Singh telling him that he must allow Muslim freedom of worship or face the Mujahideen. Ranjit Singh dismissed the ultimatum, so Sayyid Ahmad was forced to attack first at Akora on 21 December 1826, and then shortly afterwards the Hazrot. The Sikhs suffered defeated. So on the first war 1826, when he established his headquarters near the Peshawar, he first sent a message to the Ranjit Singh, ruler of that area, to allow the Muslims that they could offer their prayers freely. They have freedom of offering their prayers, worships, and everything that Islam had asked them to perform. So at that time, he said that he want that ruler that if he allowed them or otherwise he will face the Mujahideen or jihad. At that time, Ranjit Singh dismissed his ultimatum. He ignored his ultimatum. He ignored his ultimatum and consider it nothing like that. So on the other hand, Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi attacked on first on Akora and the second on the Hazrot, where the Sikh defeated. And then Sayyid Ahmad victories established him as a successful military leader and encouraged other tribes to join the Mujahideen. Soon the army numbered over 80,000 strong. A major problem for Sayyid Ahmad, however, he was that his army consisted of men from many different communities, which disagreed over how to campaign was fought. Okay, on the first half when the Said Ahmad Barelvi established his leadership qualities in military field. So he got 80,000 a people of 80,000, and in 80,000 people in his army. So the different tribal areas, different tribes with different custom, languages and traditions joined the Mujahid or Jihad movement as a mujahideen. So at that time, different communities have different ideas and they have different campaignship ideas. At that time, six tried to exploit these differences by calling the calling his army un-Islamic. At that time, six was pushing the Mujahideen army that they were un-Islamic, they were not according to the Islam, so that they could collapse and starting it ununited. And the lack of the technique of divide and rule was applied by the six at that time on the Mujahideen or uh, jihad movement. They claimed that by following the teachings of Shah Waliullah, Sayyid Ahmad forces were not true Muslim. So they claim that Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi have the ideas of Shah Waliullah, and according to his ideas, these forces was not truly the Muslim. They are not true Muslim. They are not true Mujahideens. They are not following the correct or accurate ways of doing the jihad. The view was not accepted by the Muslim leaders. In 1827, they agreed anonymously that Sayyid Ahmad should assume the authority of an Imam. They believed that the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi should adopt the quality, he has the qualities of Imam, so he just quit the position of military leader and adopt the position of a masjid imam masjid. So he could also uh, so he could also so he could also he could also force Muslims to adopt the real qualities of Islam. Sorry for the murmuring as well. So they could also adopt the qualities of adopting. He could also force the people or convince the people to adopt Muslims, to adopt the religion of Islam as well. His word on religious matters was considered binding, and his increased authority helped to unite the various groups forming the Mujahideen force. So at that time, they believed that the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi have the Imamat qualities. They have the power that unite the Muslim communities, that they could unite or bind the Muslim communities so they could fight against the non-Muslims or the Sikhs as well. Sayyid Ahmad was prepared to attack the fort of Attock when he encountered the encountered an army of 35,006 near Akoda. What he did not know was the Yar Muhammad Khan, a Pathan chief general who had joined his army, had been bribed by the Sikhs. At that time, Sayyar Muhammad was bribed by the Sikhs, as we also discussed in the live class that once a person was bribed there, he put his army out of the battlefield at that time. So this was the confusion created by his persons and his slaves or his army men. One of his slave was also tried to poison the Said Ahmad Barelvi at that time, so it was not fulfilled. He had another option but to move his headquarters to the safety of Panjtar near Kashmir. So he took his army and moved towards the Kashmir. Although Yar Muhammad was later killed in the battle against the Mujahideen, but his brother Sultan Muhammad was also waged war against the Sayyid Ahmad at that time. That time, it was the time when the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi killed his brother Yar Muhammad, brother of Sultan Muhammad, at that time he feel that he killed my brother, I will kill him. So he didn't understand what his brother has done. He was bribed by the Sikh. He cheated his leader. He did a bad thing, a wrong thing. But on the other hand, he was just doing that. I will take my revenge. I will kill him. I will kill Said Ahmed Barelvi, his army, his whole idea of Mujahideen. I will kill everything. Just because he killed his brother, he was not understanding the correct thing, that his brother bribed by the Sikhs and he cheated his leaders at that time. This was the thing that was coming into the Muslim communities, that the Muslims was fighting now against the Muslim. This was the thing that Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi doesn't want at that time, that Muslims shouldn't fight with the Muslims. This was not the idea of the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi. He want Muslim to get united and fight against the non-Muslims. But he moved to the uh, liberate Kashmir and Hazara. Balakot was thought to be the safe and it was protected on the three sides by the mountain. But on the other hand, Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi was also caught by the Sikh at that time and a large army of the Sikhs at that time. When a local person of the Balakot uh, when the local person of Balakot told the Sikhs the way through the mountains, how they can reach towards the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi and his army. This was the time when the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi was just attacked by the Sikhs, and 600 Mujahideen soldiers were killed at that time. 600 Mujahideen was killed at that time, and Muslims Mujahideen resist so long at that time with the Sikh army, but they were not they were defeated, and Said Ahmed Barelvi was also killed in the Battle of Balakot, and his commander Shah Ismail as well. So we have some influences as well in this, that the defeat of the Mujahideen in the Battle of Balakot was a serious setback of the jihad movement, and it struggled to survive the following years. The movement continued on in the hills of northwest frontier in 1863, when the British sent a large army to deal with the Mujahideen threat. Even then, the movement survived through the determination of its followers. The work of Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi have been influential because, so it was a time in the 1863 when the Britishers also fight against the Mujahideen forces, and after the death of Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi and his commander, the work of Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi was further continued after his death by his followers as well. And this was so determined and by his followers, but his work was so influential because it has exemplifying history that a movement formed to free the Muslims from the non-Muslims of foreigner rules. That this was the idea that Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi was wanted to put in the minds of the Muslim of that time, who was strongly embedded in the type of slaveries at that time of the Britishers and the Hindus as well. So he gave the idea through his movement that the Muslims have to fight for their rights. The Muslims had to free themselves through the Muslims and the non-Muslims as well, their rules as well. So it was a moment in order to place a particular leader in power, but instead to achieve religious and spiritual freedoms. Okay, this was not the moment that put someone into the power, it was the movement that the people have the right for their religious and spiritual practices, spiritual freedoms, and to achieve the freedom, just to achieve the freedom of practicing their religions freely. The Jihad movement was a uniting force for the Muslims. Many of Sayyid Ahmad's soldiers had been spiritual leaders or teachers. The fact that they were prepared to die for their cause was an inspirational to all Muslims. It was the thing that when we do Shahada, we adopt that the whatever Allah wants us, we obey Him, we surrender ourselves according to the teachings of Islam, according to what Allah wants us to be, according to what Muhammad, the Prophet of Allah, Prophet of Allah, want us to be. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam want us to be. So jihad is one of the thing that you have to do for Islam as well. You have to do it for your Muslim fellows as well. That you have to fight against the non-Muslims, the foreigners, the people who are not doing well with your fellow Muslim brothers. You have the right to fight against them. Fight in the way of Allah, Allah Almighty. That Allah gave you the chance to fight in the way of Allah, that you could die for Allah. This was the spiritual thing, this was the spiritual ideals, spiritual leaderships that was found in the soldiers of Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi, that put them to the idea, to put them in a situation that they was ready to fight for someone, they was ready to put their life into the way of Allah. This was the thing, and it was so inspirational for all other Muslims as well. They also encouraged the other Muslims to join the jihad movement, to join anything that they could help the other Muslim fellows to fight for them as well. The jihad movement is regarded by the many historians as the forerunners of the Pakistan movement in India. Sayyid Ahmad's efforts were an inspirational to all the Muslims in defending their religion, their culture, and their freedom. Those Muslims who later campaigned for their own homeland saw Sayyid Ahmad as an example of a Muslim fighting for the Muslim cause in much the same way, since he too wanted to see a state which was based on the principles of Islam. We all know that we got this Pakistan, we got this state, we got this country in which we are living to is only on the basis of true principles of Islam. It was got by the teachings of Islam, that where Muslims can live their life freely, where the Muslims can perform their customs, religion, and religious practices freely, where there is no restriction on performing any sort of religious activity. This was the thing on later when the people were struggling for the separate homeland. It was the idea that was proposed by the Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi through the his life from 1786 to 1831. This was the idea that put other people, other Muslims, to fight for their country, to fight for their religion, to fight for their customs as well, to protect their religion, to protect their religious activities as well. So this is it for today. You have to create the short question answers throughout these two pages, page number 8 and page number 9 as well. So for this is for today. So read it down carefully and read it between the lines as well. So you have to memorize or read it down as well and create the short question answer that might be you can able to answer if someone asks you about anything about these things, about the battle of Balakot, about the battle of Akora, about the battle of Hazrot as well, about the influences of the jihad movement or the role of the mujahideen or the importance of the mujahideen in these jihad moments as well. So this is it for today. Stay blessed, stay healthy. So wash your hands with soap, water, and keep it clean. Also moisturize your hands and your skin during this dry winds as well. So take care of yourselves, your loved ones, and stay blessed and stay healthy and stay at your homes. So till then, take care of your health and iman as well. And have a great day. Thank you so much. Fi aman Allah.